Hello, this is a prepaid collect call from...
This is Guy Penny, the Guru again.
Hey everybody, this is Mr. Clean.
An incarcerated individual at New York State Department of Corrections and Community Supervision. Thank you for using Securus. You may start the conversation now.
Thank you for tuning in to Speaking Through the Barz podcast, where we bring inspiration to the listeners to find motivation within themselves. Through our content, we prove and betterment starts where you at now in life. Welcome to Speaking Through the Barz podcast. Mr. Penny, the Guru, what's up, man?
What's up? What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Penny, the Guru, Speaking Through the Barz. I know we wasn't on last week, but this week we have a special guest in the building. We got Harlem's finest from the Polo Grounds, Big Unique. He's out there doing a lot of things. Hope everybody listen and learn from this brother. He's been through a lot, and he's out there like he never left. He's doing a lot of positive things. He's only been home 18 months. Welcome to Speaking to the Barz, Penny the Guru, Mr. Clean.
This Unique from Harlem. You know, I'm here representing the big homies. They doing their thing all the way from inside the belly of the beast, you know. I don't really do a lot of these interviews, but I had to represent for the homies. So, you know, where we gonna begin at, gentlemen?
All right, first and foremost, Big Unique, man, thank you for coming on the show, man. We really appreciate you. We understand you're a busy man. You know what I'm saying? So we promise not to take too much of your time, big bro. Other than that, man, before I move real brief on your past, I just want us to talk about this present moment of what's going on today, man. I would like to start off with ask you about Mecca Audio and Mecca Audio South, man. Could you explain that to the listeners, please?
And I got Mecca Audio South. I got Mecca Audio. Everybody know we had that since back in the 80s in New York. And I also got Mecca Audio South that I started with Keita Falker, Auntie Key, you know, where she down there trying to keep the young men and women off the streets. So she started a youth management movement. And, you know, we have rappers down there, and we got a basketball team down there in Roxborough, North Carolina, that we win every year. You know what I mean? The Mecca Audio South team, big shout out to Joe. You know what I mean? To Joseph, the coach, Big Mo Grime, he down there. They just had another game last week. They won. So, you know, we started that from I was in prison. You know what I mean? That's why I respect y'all movement, because Mecca Audio South started from I was doing Life Plus 20, you know?
That's right. I hope everybody heard that, man. The brother started all of this while he was doing Life Plus 20. I'm saying, and God is good, and the brother's home now. Put all that lifestyle behind him, and he's doing a lot of positive things today. So could you explain to us real quick, man, about how did you get up with Auntie Kiki, man? How did you guys meet?
Oh, man, I mean, that was an interesting one. Because, like, I was locked up, she reached out to me while I was locked up, and, you know, her and her husband, Joseph, that run the Mecca Audio South team, they drove all the way to Coleman, Florida, come sit down and talk to me. They told me what their plans were. I told them what my plans were, and, you know, we came together, we collaborated, and, you know what I mean? She already had a Rooted from the South, Rooted from the Soul going on, you know, which is a good movement, you know. She a good sister, he a good brother. So, you know, we all came together to, you know, help each other and help the youth try and move forward. You know what I mean? But she came to visit me in the pen, you know? And that's where it started. I didn't know her from a can of paint. She came to visit me, and we sat down and spoke about this. That's why I respect y'all movement, and that's why I'm honored to be a part of this, because I'd rather a brother on the inside staying connected with trying to make a dollar on the outside than playing games on the inside and not focusing on trying to get back out. Because don't forget, like you said, I had Life Plus 20 with no chance of parole. But even with all that going, I'm starting Mecca Audio South. I got my record label. I did a record with Sadat X, Drez for Black Sheep, Will Porter, Kiss Major, Ron G did the beat. So I respect Patter's movement, you know what I mean? Because he's staying occupied with the outside, you know what I mean? So once you get out here, everything else is easy, you know?
That's right. Appreciate you, man. I also see that you got the No Doubt About It song, man, you guys have on the Empire soundtrack.
Yeah, you know, and that's a funny one. I'm sitting down. I'm doing Life Plus 20, like I said. This is about 2015, about 2016. And I'm watching Empire like everybody else, all the other black people in jail. So I'm watching Empire, and I see Pitbull come out there and start yelling, "Hey, yo," and you know what I mean? And yelling, "All right," and all this. And I'm sitting next to some dudes, and I'm telling them, like, yo, you know, to myself, I'm saying, damn, that nigga using my shit, you know? So I told the dude that was closest to me, that I was closest to, and of course they didn't believe me, you know what I mean? Because it always go like that, you know? They think when you say things like that, that you wailing, as we say in jail, you know what I mean? But
that's right.
You know, I left a mark out here, you know, from the time that I was out here. I wasn't just out here selling drugs, doing nothing. I had businesses. You understand what I'm saying? So I had that copy written and all that. So I I had my people contact Lee Daniels and Empire, you know, and we worked some things. We worked it out. You know what I mean? We worked it out, you know?
That's right. I'm proud of you. Brother. Mr. Clean, man, what's up, man? You know what I mean? I know you got some questions. You want to know about what he got going on for the youth, and, you know, let's get into that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yo, Big Unique, man. How you doing today, man? It's Mr. Clean.
Man, I'm doing great. Just talking to y'all, knowing that y'all on the inside try to do something. You know what I mean? Positive on the outside. I'm honored. I'm blessed to be here today, big bro.
Yeah, man. You know, at the end of the day, man, ain't where you at, is what you do.
I mean, that's easy. That's easy for you to say because you a go-getter. You know what I mean? You get a lot of people that say that just be lip professing. That just mean they be lip professors just talking and talk. But y'all living that walk, and that's why I'm honored. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I respect that, man. We definitely respect you coming through and just chill with us, man. So when you was doing your bed, what was like your mind frame? Like, what kept you sane and kept you focused on coming home with all that time?
You know, just keep reminding myself that I gotta think for niggas. You know what I mean? You gotta think for the next nigga. You know what I mean? Because niggas is stupid. You know, y'all hear squeaking in the background. I hope this ain't gonna mess up your call. You know? I hear a little squeaking. Okay, we good? But like I said, you gotta just think for the next nigga, man. That's what it's all about. Because niggas is stupid. You know what I mean? A nigga would make you kill him quick. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta always remind yourself that this nigga don't know what he doing. This nigga don't know he playing with fire. You know what I mean? Because it's like a nigga will try and push you to the point. You know what I mean? And yeah, I'm saying nigga. You know what I mean? Because that's what I'm talking about, a nigga. I'm not talking about a brother right now. I'm talking about a nigga. You know what I mean? A nigga will push you to the point where, you know, you got to draw blood for him before he know it's serious. You know what I mean? And by then, it'll set you back. You understand what I'm saying? So you got to always be looking for the setback. And I did mine one day at a time, one step at a time. You know what I mean? I didn't keep thinking I got life plus 20. Oh, my God, what I'm going to do. You know what I mean? I just worried about what I was going to do to accomplish for that day. I set short-term goals, you know, and I stuck with it. You understand what I'm saying? But the main thing, man, and I hope this help Pan on the inside, anybody else on the inside, anybody else that knows someone on the inside, you got to tell your people that they have to think for the next nigga. You know what I mean? Because niggas don't think. A nigga will make you take his eye out. You understand what I'm saying? Before he realized that he crossed the line. You know?
Right. That's right. That's right. So real quick, because I know Mr. Clean's not finished with you, but what spots you was in the feds, man?
Man, I started off in Lewisburg in 1994. Then I went up to police, wound up in ADX. Supermax opened that up in 95. You know, stayed there to middle of 99. Then I went to Allenwood. You know, I was screwing up in there. So, I mean, I wasn't no angel now, and I'm not trying to profess to be no angel. I just became a change man, and God's been working with me. But, you know what I mean? I was selling heroin. I had people, bringing in heroin through the visit. I had heroin coming in through the mail. You know how it is in there, Pat. A nigga was still trying to eat, still trying to stay connected, and didn't want to admit that he was locked up. So they put a little bloodhound on me. They brought to the jail because I had the jail lit up with heroin in the jail. And the dude came there. When I say little bloodhound, I'm talking about SIS. They came there. Dude couldn't catch me. So he sent me out to Lone Park, California in 2001. Stayed there till 2003. You know what I mean? Then out there, I'm selling heroin again, doing my thing, because still ain't learned, still wanted to do me. You know what I mean? It took me over a decade before I slowed down. You know what I mean? And really realized that, man, I got to focus on getting out. You understand what I'm saying? But I was in Lake Park till 2003. Then I went to Coleman, Florida. Coleman 1 when they just opened it up. When I got there, I was there. My uncle David Hyatt, big shout out to David Hyatt. You know what I mean? You know the chief. That's who started Taft Ave Records. He brought out R. Kelly. You know what I mean? And you know, I was there for like maybe 3 weeks. But when they opened it up, they was trying to make it a PC camp, and they knew that I was known to have heroin and all that. Big shout out to Boy George. Boy George was there with me. Haitian Chuck was there with me, caught his case with me in Virginia. D Nice from Brooklyn was there with me. You know what I mean? Pizza Face Mike was there with me. Shamik was there with me. True God, Big Manny. You know what I mean? Todd Vessel. You know, we had men that was there, but they didn't want us there. So if you wasn't complying by the rules, and these brothers that I just named, they was already moving more smooth but complying by the rules, where I was still flying flamboyant like I'm back in Harlem in '88. You know what I mean? Slinging 25 keys. That's how I was moving dope for the prison. So as soon as I got there, they snatched me up from there. I wasn't there maybe a month and a half. And you know, you don't stay on no compound and leave from the compound a month and a half. They just came and backed up a van and drove me all the way out to Lee County, Virginia. Because you asked me where I've been, so I'm giving you my travels. So they sent me to Lee County, Virginia. I stayed there from 2003 to 2005, made it to Otisville for a minute. Then they sent me up to Raybrook. Then from Raybrook, they sent me to Atwater, California. You know what I mean? In 2007, stayed there from 2007 to 2010. And then from there, they sent me to back to Coleman again. You know what I mean? And then from Coleman, I made it to the Medium finally. That's when I started getting my life together, really, when I got to Coleman the second time. Because the first time, they knew I wasn't ready for it. You know what I mean? When I got there, I still wanted to be that dope boy and that nigga. You know what I'm saying? So they didn't want me there. But the second time when I got there, I really took advantage of Coleman, and it had a lot to offer. That's why they didn't want me there the first time. When I got there, I became a certified culinary arts cook, certified mentor, a plumber, electrician. You know, I was in the skills program in the FCI where I had mentally challenged, young men and older men had to live with me in the cell, that I had to teach them how to do everything from take their medication to make them take a shower without putting my hands on them, because the psychology was behind the program. So, I got myself together. And from that move there, when I got my life together, when I went all back to Coleman after all of these journeys, because I got there the first time in 2003, and here it is now, 2015, and I'm back over there again. But now, after I done been all around the goddamn globe in the federal system, I knew what I was missing. You understand what I'm saying? I knew what I needed to do. So, I got my shit together and I did what I had to do. Then Coleman, being that, like you said, when you're doing stuff like that, they think that, they know we changed our life around, but they think that we ready to rat now. They think that we gonna surrender. You know what I mean, Panna? You know what I mean?
That's right.
They think because they giving you a education, good job, and it's sweet, it's no violence, they think that they could, come at you any kind of way. So what happened is they came at me at Coleman, and I ain't even tell nobody this since I've been out, but being this a prison joint, I'm going to let y'all know. But they came at me at Coleman when I was in the FCI, and they threatened to send me back to the pen, talking about they wanted me to say that a female police that they was trying to fire because she put in the lawsuit on them for sexual harassment, because they was allowing the male inmates to jerk off on them and not reprimanding them. They won, the female inmates won $20 million. From the Department of Justice. So the lady that was one of the main people on it, they wanted to fire her, and she only had 2 more years left before she got off her retirement. So they trying to screw her pension off. So they come to me, being that they know that I'm one of the troubled inmates that came a long way and definitely don't want to go back to where I was at after making it to an FCI and living good in psychology program. And you know what I mean? In this program, they had weights and bicycles and TVs and VCRs and typewriters and, shit that they didn't have nowhere else in the prison system. So they basically came to me and said, if you want to keep all that, we need you to say that this lady let you use a cell phone and you gave it back to her and she took it home. And that's all you got to say, and we'll do the rest from there. And I'm telling them, nah, you got the wrong nigga. You know what I mean? So they locked me up, put me in the shoe. They kept me back there about 6 months. I started writing the senator and all that, letting them know what they were trying to set up the police and try to get me to set up the police. And I'm not into all that old crap. So next thing you know, they sent me out to Victorville. So now they sent me to Victorville.
California.
When Victorville, Victorville, California, when that was the dumping ground. You know what I mean? For inmates, you know, if you fucking up in the feds, they sending you to Victorville and then ADX. It was that type of movement. You know what I mean? So they send me out there, even though I had all of this knowledge and wisdom and education that I acquired from, you know, that same prison, Coleman. They said, screw all of that. You don't want to work for us, you going over here. You understand what I'm saying? So they sent me over there, but when I get there, the psychology, you know how you go through intake and you see the psychology and all of them. They looked at my record and they said, damn, you've been doing good. And you don't even have an incident report. You haven't had an incident report in what was the last time? 2006 was the last incident report. And this is 2015 we talking. We talking about 11 years. So they like, yo, I don't understand why they sent, I don't understand why they sent you here. So I explained to them, I said, yeah, they want me to set up a police, boom, boom, boom. I wasn't going to do it. So they sent me out here. They said, nah, well, you ain't got to worry about nothing. With your mind skills and your skills that you have in psychology, you could work for us. So they gave me a job there in the psychology. I started doing suicide prevention classes. I got my man Urban Betha, big shout out to our man. I got our mayor in the class with me. You know what I mean? Where he getting ready to come home. He from the Poison Clan in New Jersey. I'm going to try and set up an interview with you for him. That's my brother. You know, but you know, he on the case with Corey. But anyway, so I get out there. Long story short, and I lost the clemency. But when I get out there, now all of a sudden they hit me up, and the psychology gave a letter, and she went through my file with all the accomplishments that I made over the years at Coleman, and she wrote all that down and gave me props for it and sent the letter to the judge. So once she sent the letter to the judge looked at it and said, oh, man, nigga, you did all of that from selling dope in all the prisons all over the place and shooting and robbing and selling coke in America. Nah, so the judge, you know, under the new first step law that Donald Trump put out, gave the judge the permission to release old-timers like me that had over a decade in that changed our life. And I got more accomplishments on my jacket than any other inmate in the system, other than like Guy Fisher and William Underwood, who started getting their life together from the beginning of their bid, because they went in older than me. Like I said, it took me over a decade to settle down. But what I did for the last decade supersede what I did for, you know, the 15 years before that when I was screwing up. So that's how I got to Victorville. And next thing you know, they knocked on my door and told me, yo, you got immediate release, you going home. I mean, you know, I can't even begin to tell you that feeling, you know, but I'm home now. But let me stop talking, let y'all ask some more questions.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
All right, so you know, coming home, what was your mind frame coming home in order to, you know, get the programs and things you have going on?
Yeah, I mean, first thing I had to do was, you know, remember when I came home, when they let me go first, they sent me to an immigration jail. I had to sit there for 2-3 months and fight that. You know what I mean? So I didn't come right home. I continued to fight. I'm still fighting. You know what I mean? I mean, it's always a fight with these people, but I came home during the pandemic. You know what I mean? So it was like, I came home to come get locked in the house to be in another confinement. You know what I mean? I mean, I came home last May in the heart of the pandemic when they were still having 1,000 deaths a night in New York. That's when I got released. I got released into that world. Like I was coming home into The Walking Dead, like it was a movie. You know what I mean? I couldn't even believe it. But, you know, I just stayed focused, and I paid attention to what was going on my phone, because my son got me the new iPhone 11 Pro Max. I started playing with the phone, started looking at YouTube, looking at little social media, Instagram, and I just looked at certain program I saw was going on, and I saw I could get, you know, in a lane to try and help other young people with the YouTube. So I started my channel, Unique Mecca Audio, you know, where I tell the young people, don't get involved in drugs, so that, or don't get involved in breaking the law, so that you don't have to make the choice that I made. You know what I mean? The choices that I had to make, meaning to be away from my family for 26 years because I wanted to sell drugs. You understand what I'm saying? So I tell them, don't do it.
Right.
It ain't worth it. And it's up to them if they want to listen to an old man like me that done been there and done that. I've been selling drugs on the streets of New York since I was like 11 years old, 10 years old, living in reefer houses in the Bronx. You know what I mean? All the way till I got locked up at 29. So, you know, and then did 26 years in federal prison for selling drugs. So if a nigga don't think that I'm qualified to speak, you know what I mean? That nigga's lost his mind. You know what I mean?
That's why we brought you to this platform, man, because what you've been through and what you're doing now, you know, that's what we try to highlight, man, brothers who, you know, who've been to the bottom, man, who've seen how it is to live hard, long sentences, and who come home with a new mind frame in order to help the communities that are hurting. Because at the end of the day, no matter what we did in life, we don't want to see our kids or our nephews or our nieces or the people we love grow up and go through the same things we did, because we know how hard it was.
Exactly. But that's where I'm at, though, family. I mean, it's like, that's why I respect what you're doing, because it starts from the inside, man, because the people on the outside is taking life for granted, my nigga. You know what I mean? They take your freedom for granted, my nigga. You know what I mean? Look what you're doing on the inside. You know what I mean? You could be glued in front of the TV like 80% of the inmates, you know, watching ESPN, playing the ticket. You know what I mean? Where I know dudes that know. Go ahead.
Or I could be running down, shaking. Or I could be running down, shaking pockets like I was doing when I first came to prison. You know.
You know what I'm saying? We done did all that, but that's what I'm saying. You know, but you're doing something positive. So if I can help you in any way, I'm here, my brother. You know what I mean? And I know you official because, you know, I was with you in Lee County. You know what I mean? With Pat in Lee County, and I heard the name throughout the system, and all the DC dudes, you know, they love you like if, you know, they say you're from DC. You know what I mean? You know, so, you know, your bloodline is strong and you're a man. So you're a man and a stand-up man. So whatever I could do to help an honorable man, I'm here 10 toes down, my brother.
Right. Appreciate you, man. We really appreciate you. And as far as for these kids, man, today, man, because I know you're doing a lot for the kids today, too, for the future.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you already know. We just had a big, you know, turkey giveaway and all that in Harlem, and food giveaway where we cooked food. We did everything. I mean, you know, we make moves, man. We gave away school supplies at Bedhurst, the Dome over the summer. You know what I'm saying? I featured the mini Rucker League. I didn't feature the major Rucker League. I featured the juvenile Rucker League. You know what I mean? Made videos for them, things like that, to put them out there. And I talked to some young brothers and sisters that played in the basketball league, that they 14 and 15 talking about going to college to be lawyers and doctors and engineers and cyber forensics and things like that. I can't even pronounce. So I felt proud to be around them, and they was honored to hear from an old rusty nigga like me that been through hell, that's trying to prevent them from going down that path, because there's no need to get burnt. If a nigga goes, if your mother tells you don't put your hand in the fire, and you put your hand in the fire, you get burnt. You know what I mean? That's a learning lesson. Now, you done got burnt, you done learned your lesson, and you put your hand in the fire again and get burnt again. That's what you want. That's your choice now. So I'm trying to just let them know that you don't have to put your hand in the fire with me. I've been in the fire, nigga. I'm burnt. You know what I mean? I got burnt for you, man. You know, for you. And now I'm telling you, you know, okay? That's what you're telling them.
That's what I be saying to the young boys, man. Like, yo, listen, man, I already lived it for you, man. There's no need for you to be living it. Like, you know, it's a mind frame.
Exactly.
Slavery, like, you know, like, it's like nowadays people glorify the violence more than they glorify somebody who's smart.
Yo, my nigga, you know, and I don't even want to speak on that, because I try and keep that, you know, out my vocabulary, because people get it twisted. Yo, Patty, you wouldn't believe it. You know, when we was out there on the street, my nigga, if you break the law with your friend and you get caught, you know to shut the fuck up. You understand what I'm saying? Don't bring your comrade in, because I got life. I wasn't going to sit there and tell on 1 or 10 or 100 of my comrades for me to get 5 years and them to come in and get life. I'd rather do my life and let them live their life. And that's how I moved while I was in there for 26 years, where I was happy knowing that my comrades didn't get caught. So I'm not going to help them get caught. But
That's
right now, the way
That's right.
the way the things work out here now, my brother, and it just blew my mind. Out here, they glorify telling on your brother. You understand?
Right. So, real quick, not to cut you off, Big Unique, and Mr. Clean. I got to get off the phone right now. We could close. You could close out these last two questions, Mr. Clean, with Big Unique. I got to get off the phone. I'll be back on the phone later on tonight or tomorrow.
Yeah, well, he hung up, but this is for him when he listened back to it. Right. So he know that when he come out here, that there is room for him to make a change out here, because the whole society has been screwed up for the 26 years I've been gone. You understand? So, we just try to make a change, man. And the messed up thing is, you're going to have people in other podcasts that's looking for something negative to pull out this positive interview in order to get what they call views, clicks, and likes. They don't want the positive that you got a brother in jail trying to save the youth from in jail. You understand what I'm saying? I tried to save the youth from in jail with the Mecca Audio South. Nobody spoke on that. Nobody speak on that. You know what I mean? But I haven't even been doing interviews, but when I heard it's for a brother on the inside, there's no way I can say no. And that's why I'm here.
Right.
And I'm not getting nothing for this. They didn't offer me nothing. I'm doing it from the heart. You know what I mean?
And we respect that, man, because all our guests, man, they was respecting our platform, man. They was like, yo, man, y'all doing something like this, that's ill, man, like, we behind it, what you want. And we respect you coming through like that, man, because sometimes, it's hard to do a podcast free, so being locked up is hard, man. So to connect with people that we've been connected with, it keep us motivated, man. And we appreciate you coming through here, man. The energy that you bring, man, the things that you do, man, we appreciate it all, man. If you got any advice for somebody who locked up and who about to come home, or somebody who just came home, what would you tell them?
Think for the next nigga. When a nigga do something, and I'm saying nigga again, so you know, you think for the next nigga. When a nigga cross your path and do something stupid that you know he deserves his life taken from our code of honor, you got to remember that they're not rolling with our code and they don't know what they're doing. So you have to think for the next nigga, the same as out here. You know what I mean? I done had people cut me off. I done had, while I'm driving, I done had people, going in the mall, breathing in your face without a mask, and you try and say something to them, and they get nasty out their mouth, and I'm looking at them, like, do you know, I'm saying this to myself, like, do you know I would murder you right now? And then I got to think, damn, I got to remember, he don't know that. So now I got to think for him, so I give him a pass. And that's what the brothers on the inside got to do. You got to give those niggas in there that is lost and buried a pass, my nigga, and know that you're giving them the pass. And it don't make you soft for giving them a pass. It just means that you're trying to get on the path to get the hell out of there. And you ain't going to get out of there by feeding into the jailhouse politics and the jailhouse this and that. You know what I mean? The jailhouse rules, just like their street rules and their civilian rules. You know what I mean? So you don't have to live by the jailhouse rules. You got to set your own rules to live by in life. And that's what makes you a man, my brother.
And that's a fact, man. We appreciate you, Rick Unique, for coming through, man. We appreciate how much you care about this platform that we got, man. We appreciate the support that you give us, man. We look forward to your success, man. Keep it here for us, man, because we be right behind you, man. Thank you.
Okay, well, let me just touch on, I'm going to just get on the audio book. I'm not going to get on the movie thing, but I just finished my audio book. I got the book out, Aurora in Harlem. You can get it at aurorainharlem.com. I got a trailer on my life story, 4 minutes, where I use my actual court documents, my actual passport picture, my actual passport, everything. My man D, we did it for me. It's official. He my brother. But, I had good people on the outside that was willing to be my arm, leg, head on the outside, being that my arm, leg, head was trapped on the inside. You know what I mean? I just finished the audio book. The audio book be out before Christmas. I mean, I'm just trying to give back, man, to let them know that I done been through hell.
You have 1 minute left.
And you don't have to walk the path that I walk. And that's the world famous. You got a minute left. So, I'm going to tap out and close the show out. All right.
All right. Thank you, man. Appreciate you, man. We'll be getting in touch with you real soon, man, to show you the love, man. We appreciate everything, man. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, and then big shout out to the little brother that's helping me edit the book. He helping me edit the book on the strength. I mean, that's how family do.
Yeah, Keith.
I didn't ask for a dime.
Keith.
You know, but I'm gonna make sure I look out for him. But that's how men do. It ain't about a monetary gain.